a human is to be in a twist. How thought longs to twist and turn like the serpent poetry. Timothy Morton, Dark Ecology. Lygophilia reflects on new ecological realities in the time of the Anthropocene. Lygophilia intervenes into environments and discusses ecology in order to establish substantial changes in an ecosystem. Lygophilia explores how to perceive the parameters of ecological needs of other species in the times of dark ecology. Lygophilia explores the relationship between mythology and scientific facts merged with popular culture, invites to gain a more profound view of interspecies cohabitation and coexistence with focus on relationship axolotl-human. Lygophilia explores the axolotl through different narratives. Axolotl as a species that is facing extinction in its natural environment. Axolotl as a subject of scientific research, considering its fascinating regenerative abilities. Axolotl as a cultural imperative that helps to understand the bridge between the past and future. From the end of the 19th century onwards, the number of axolotls has increased. They are, however, mostly to be found in laboratories, where their biological advantage, namely their perpetual youth, is thoroughly examined. The majority of the captive-bred population in laboratories and the domestic axolotls found in the world today trace their ancestry to a shipment of 6 axolotls from Xochimilco that arrived in Paris in 1863. These animals proved to be well suited for life in captivity. From just 5 males and 1 female, the Jardin des Plantes distributed thousands of axolotls to scientists throughout the world. The axolotl makes at least 2 entrances into the theater of European taxonomy. The first is via the pen of Francisco Hernández, a 16th century Spanish naturalist who recorded its native Nahuatl name and came up with Piscis ludicrus, the ludicrous fish. The second is in 1789, when the English zoologist George Shaw, who was also the first European scientist to examine a platypus, assigned it a place in the Linnaean firmament. In the year 1800, the German naturalist Alexander von Humboldt shipped 2 live axolotls along with fossilized giant elephant bones and other goodies to Georges Cuvier of the giant primeval swamp salamander fame in Paris. Cuvier decided axolotls were the larval form of an unknown air-breathing species and seems to have left it at that. It was not until 60 years later that scientists, also in France, studied one of the axolotl's most remarkable features, the fact that it was a reproducing adult even though it looked like a tadpole, that is a juvenile, but that it could also mysteriously transform itself into what looked like another species altogether. In 1863, 6 adult axolotls of the species Ambystoma mexicanum were shipped from Mexico City to the Jardin des Plantes in Paris. Unaware of their neoteny, Auguste Dumeril was surprised when he found in the vivarium a new species similar to the salamander. This discovery was the starting point of research about neoteny, the juvenile features in the adult animal. From the end of the 19th century onwards, the number of axolotls has increased, however only in laboratories. There they are bred and raised successfully as laboratory specimens. They are a subject of investigation due to their extraordinary biological ability to regrow severed limbs, gills, tails, as well as to make head transplants. The quest to unlock their secrets of regeneration and aging, which hide in the very principles of their complex organisms, has driven and captivated human minds for centuries. The human life expectancy almost doubled during the last century while we attempt to solve the limitations of our bodies with the regenerative medicine whose research is lately focused on the biological adaptations of the axolotls. Axolotls have a very rare amphibian capacity. They grow into adulthood without undergoing metamorphosis, and therefore live in an everlasting adolescent stage. They are the model species resonating with desires of humans who long for perpetual youth. Axolotls intrigue the ancient Aztecs because of their strange looks and regenerative powers, and were believed to be a manifestation of the god Xolotl, who was the ferryman of the dead to the underworld and the god of fire. Their presence in the mythologies of old is strong, as they had been a vital part of the human society. They were a part of their diet, and also an important part of their folk medicine. A folk remedy, a syrup made from axolotls, has been used as a common medicine to alleviate coughing for centuries. Axolotls are characterized by their strong cultural references. As mysterious creatures that never age, they had been present in the dawns of the swamps. While much effort has been spent on trying to prolong life itself, it is important to understand the quality of an extended life for us and the non-human companions we share the environment with. Therefore, it is almost impossible for humankind to see axolotls as they are, animals in the process of inevitable extinction. Axolotl, whose binominal name is Ambystoma mexicanum, is a member of the genus Ambystoma, which are found only in North America, while 17 species from that genus are found only in the highland lakes of Mexico. The natural habitat of one of the axolotls is the canal system of Xochimilco in Mexico. To the Aztecs, the salamander's regenerative power was really similar to that of the Xochimilco lake system that sustained them. What is left from what was an extensive lake and canals that once connected most of the indigenous settlements of the Valley of Mexico. The lakes surrounding Mexico City, where axolotls originally lived in the darkness of the swamps, are losing its symbolic meaning as a connection of the past and future. Anthropocene is present, as water quality is low, and only the most resilient species are able to survive. Axolotl isn't one of them. Canals, along with artificial islands called chinampas, now serve as an attraction for numerous tourists and other city residents who enjoy riding on colorful trajineras, gondola-like boats. The canal and chinampa system, as a vestige of the area's pre-Hispanic past, has made Xochimilco a World Heritage Site. But the threat of losing a major part of its natural environment in consequence to the ecological catastrophe is serious. Quest, therefore, is not only to rescue the wild axolotl, it's to try and rescue the whole system of Xochimilco. The mythology and scientific facts merged with popular culture invite you to understand the life of interspecies cohabitation more profoundly. What is clear nowadays is that we cannot walk separate paths in our efforts to conserve wild and domestic axolotls. Scientists and citizens who value the axolotl for differing reasons need to become better connected. Global understanding of the value of axolotls extends beyond specific interests and national borders. The power of biopolitics reflects on the environment. In the short story entitled Axolotl by Julio Cortázar, the narrator is transfixed. He experiences his own metamorphosis transforming into axolotl. I stayed watching them for an hour and left, unable to think of anything else. Lygophilia reflects on new ecological realities in the time of the Anthropocene. Lygophilia intervenes into environments and discusses ecology in order to establish the extent of substantial changes in an ecosystem. Lygophilia explores how to perceive the parameters of ecological needs of other species in the times of dark ecology. Lygophilia explores how we are able to perceive the parameters of new ecology as ecological parks, oases of the new downs, the space of the future as the genetic reservoir of the planet. The project thus opens the questions: who observes whom? Who is seen as a monster, and who is perceived as an optical illusion? Progress means humanity emerges from its spellbound state, no longer under the spell of progress, as well its self-nature, by becoming aware of its own indigenousness to nature, and by halting the mastery of a nature through which nature continues its mastery. Theodor Adorno.